Welcome to Pyramid Parent Talk. I'm Lynne Farlough.
And I'm Karran Harper Royal.
We're parents with Pyramid Community Parent Resource Center, providing information and support to parents of children with special needs in New Orleans. At Pyramid Community Parent Resource Center, we provide one-to-one assistance, workshops on the special education law, which is IDEA, positive behavior support, and advocacy skills workshops. You can reach us at the web at www.pyramidparentcenter.org or follow us on Twitter at PyramidCPRC, or you can call our helpline at 504-899-1505. Today we're discussing summer programs for your children with special needs. We will talk about some of the available summer camps, and we will also talk about the extended school year program. If you want to join the discussion, please call us at 504-260-9265. Summertime can be filled with anxiety and frustration, Karran, as you know, when it comes to finding a place for your child with a disability. I remember when my child Jade, who is a 24-year-old, and she has autism, finding a camp for her was a very difficult thing. I was fortunate to find the camp, and it was Camp Raindrops at the time, which is a camp in Jefferson Parish. And at that time, I lived in Orleans Parish. Camp Raindrops was a great place for my child. It had everything that I needed. It had before care and after care. It also was a Monday through Friday camp. And camp, which is now Camp Raindrops and Camp Sunshine. And it was a camp that was thought up by parents of children with disabilities. So that was a great thing. So the people staffed at the camp have children with disabilities, and also people worked with children with disabilities. They offer many activities. They had lots of field trips. And at the end of the camp experience, they had some sort of big event. I remember when Jade was there, they collaborated with JCPenney and had a nice fashion show, and that was a great thing, and all of the campers loved that.
Now, was that just for children with significant disabilities, or was it a wide range of disabilities?
It was a wide range of disabilities. However, it did have, if your child had challenging behaviors, you might have a problem.
Oh, really?
Really. And sometimes they would ask if you had a worker, if you received services from the Office of Citizens for Developmental Disabilities and had the waiver services, they might ask you to have your worker come with you at the camp.
Wow. Well, you would think that they would be equipped to handle children with disabilities.
We have a call on line 1. Hi. This is
Hello.
Pyramid. What's your name?
Hi, Miss Lynne and Miss Karran. I'm Kim Jones.
Hi, Kim.
So
I hear that you guys are, I'm currently tuning in. I hear that you guys are talking about kids with special needs and summer camps and how difficult it is.
Yes. Tell us about what you're going through.
Oh, my goodness. My daughter is 5, and she is diagnosed with developmental delay in CP, cerebral palsy. I'm a first-time mom. However, since she's finished with pre-K, I have had the most difficult time finding her a summer camp this summer. And it seems like my only option is ultimately either to pay weekly for daycare or find someone private to watch her. I have contacted NORD or even Children's Hospitals, but they can't take her because of her disability. She's not yet toilet trained. And that's the part where they say they cannot accept her.
Yes. So, what are you going to do this summer?
Well, after I've exhausted all my resources, well, at least I think I have done, and called all around, and even networking with friends who have children, but none of my friends have children with special needs. So I have just exhausted to help having a friend, family member, watch her for me.
Mm-hmm. Is she going to be involved in anything else?
No. Not socially with kids her age.
What about school? Will she be done with school?
Yes, school was over last Wednesday, and she's supposed to be attending ESY, but that's only for a short period of time.
Now, let me just clarify for people what ESY is. That is the Extended School Year Program, and we're definitely going to cover a little bit more about ESY later on in the program.
And so I'm glad, Kim, that you talked about extended school year, and as Karran said, we'll cover more of that later. But what we will do is share with parents some thoughts about the situations that you're having. You know, it then becomes an issue of advocacy. So we appreciate you calling in, and so continue to listen so that we can share some other things.
And call in on future shows. We're going to be talking about behavior planning in some of our upcoming shows.
Oh, great. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Kim.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
So we have another call on line 3. We have Miss Celicia. Welcome, Miss Celicia. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Hi, Celicia.
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine. Oh, it's Felicia probably, right?
Well, Alicia, yes.
Oh, Felicia. Oh, okay. Hi, Felicia. So what's going on with summer camp or summer programming for you?
I was just calling in to let some of the parents know about Camp Rainbow, which is an autism camp that is in Jefferson Parish. It's a recreational camp, and my son went there last year, and he did wonderfully when he went back to school. They saw a major increase in his attention span, in his academics. Now, he do have his little setbacks because he has social autism, so big, large numbers and groups is a problem for him. But with the camp, they really worked with him to try to engage his play with other kids and get him a little bit more comfortable with a lot going on at one time. And I think it is an excellent summer camp program.
Felicia, let me ask you this. So the staff there, so you felt like they were trained in the area. Why did they work so well with him?
I think that they were, a lot of them were school teachers that were out for the summer that decided to do the program, and then some of them were volunteers who are going to school, like college, to get more education on the program. So they actually were working with each other and the kids as well. So I thought that they really did well with my son because a big thing that he has is a lot of kids. He did not initiate play, which caused him to not, talk and say a lot of things. But with the camp, they saw a major increase in his language, in his tolerance of kids, everything the following year at school.
Now, Felicia, you mentioned this camp is in Jefferson Parish. Do you have to live in Jefferson Parish to utilize this camp?
You do not. Jefferson Parish residents get vouchers for the program because they pay, I guess, the taxes and whatever. But you do pay for the program as you would do any other summer camp. Just if you were bringing your kid to, Elmwood summer camp or anything like that, you would get the listing of how long you want them to attend. There's 2 separate sessions. So you can pay weekly or you can pay for the whole session in one. You go in and fill out the paperwork, and they give you everything you need. And it's more than one camp. I mean, it goes by the age group of your child.
Absolutely. Because it's Camp Rainbow, then I think the next camp is Camp Sunshine, right?
Camp Butterfly. Then Camp Sunshine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Camp Sunshine. And then when you become an adult, it becomes Club Pinnacles.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And let me make a correction, Felicia. It's great, of course, for a child that has autism, but it serves all disabilities, correct?
It does. It serves all disabilities.
Well, thanks, Felicia. You definitely were a wealth of information. But let me ask you this before we let you go. What were some of the activities and things that y'all did, that your son did last summer?
Every week they took a field trip. They went to the zoo, and they rented the bounce center for them so that they can jump on the spacewalks and the bounce arenas and stuff like that. They had picnics, and they did little swimming for the older campers. My son was kind of young when he started. He was like 4, so they didn't really do swimming for him because they specifically asked you, can they swim and stuff like that. So they did do something every Friday. They kept them engaged.
Very good.
Now, Felicia, how did you know about this camp? Because many of our parents don't know what programs are out there. How did you find out about Camp Raindrops?
Well, I found out about the camp through a mutual friend who led me to Miss Lynne, who is actually on the line. So she helped me out with finding the camp, and I visited the site, and I loved it. And I kind of freaked out the first day because I thought my son was going to cry and have a little fit, and then the next day he went in there with no problem. So I really thought that was amazing.
Well, that's great. And what's so important is that as parents, we pass this information on because it's not that easy to find information about summer camps,
right.
Especially
and
those
that
that
is the
can.
main reason I called, because it was very difficult for me, and it's been a true blessing to find some place that he's actually comfortable with, that I know is like close to me, where I can, call in or go on field trips with them or anything they need. They welcome volunteers and everything, so it's a good place.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Felicia, and sharing that very important information with our listeners. Have a great day.
Thanks, Felicia.
Bye-bye.
Well, Lynn, it's really good that, parents are able to network with each other and share that information. As you know, the city of New Orleans has the New Orleans Recreation Center, summer camp programs. And last week, in preparation for this show, I, called to find out what do they have for children with disabilities. And unfortunately, I didn't get a call back. But just from my knowledge of what goes on in the schools, in the city's recreation programs, I know that they can only handle a certain level of severity with children with disabilities. So it's really important that parents call NORD and ask them questions about just what that level of severity is. And we know that our children with disabilities often, especially those with behavior problems, have limited options of choices for summer camps. And it really is going to take parents in their activism and advocacy to change that. And I just want to give the phone number out for the NORD summer program because I'm still waiting for my call back, but perhaps parents who want more information about summer camps should call NORD at 504-658-3033. The lady's name is Miss Johanna Brightman, and ask her about how does NORD serve children with disabilities in their summer programming. And you will find that there is some amount of limits in that. And it's really going to take parents getting involved with helping the city to change some of their policies and get the resources, because this is our tax dollars, and it is not right that children with disabilities that these services are not open to those children with special needs just as they are for children without special needs. And I just want to remind people, if you have an experience with summer programming, good or bad, especially the good, we want to know what programs are out there. Please give us a call at 504-260-9265 and let us know what your experience has been with summer programming in and around New Orleans.
As I think about what Karran just said, I'm thinking about an incident that I know of in St. John Parish where a parent was looking for a camp for his child. And he advocated for his child and went to the parish president to say that his child needed somewhere to be in summer camp. And he didn't know of any programs in the area. And they worked that out. They made sure that there was an area camp for his particular child to attend. So advocacy works, and you have to make those phone calls and have meetings with your government to make sure that they're including all children. So as we continue to talk about summer camps, one camp that I'd like to talk about is Camp Tiger. Camp Tiger actually happened last week, and I think it's important for parents to know about it because it's a great camp done through LSU's Health Science Center, and it's free of charge, and it happens every year around Memorial Day. So it extends for the week. They do something different with your children every day with medical students. So I think it's a great camp for you to attend. My child attended Camp Tiger for years, and you would go to LSU's Health Science website for the camp information, and start doing that in March.
Okay, that was going to be my question. How far in advance does a parent need to sign up for these programs? Because I'm sure they can't house and serve an unlimited number of students. So you think it's in March when parents should start
is the
contacting them?
Where you really should start looking on that website. You could go as early as January, and they may start having the information about Camp Tiger on the website. So it's important to plan way ahead in enough time so you can get your child in a camp. There's a host of other camps that your children can attend, so you have to be open to possibly having your children go to away camps. There's a lot of medically specific camps that your children can go to. And the Lions Club hosts a camp every year. You can go to their website for those kinds of camps. A list of the camp information you can find at Families Helping Families Jefferson.org or Families Helping Families Southeast Louisiana.org. And they both have on their website resource guides that you can download to get camp information.
You mentioned medical specific camps, and I remember as a member of CHAD, Children and Adults with Attention Deficit Disorder, every year in our Attention magazine there would be an article about a scholarship to an away camp for children with ADHD. And parents can contact CHAD on their website, www.chadd.org, to get more information about their scholarship programs that would help send children with disabilities to camps outside of the New Orleans area. So, parents just have to be really, really vigilant and looking all over to find summer programming for their kids. So, next, Lynn, I remember when Kim called in, she talked about the extended school year programming. And every year, our children with disabilities have IEPs. That's the Individualized Education Programs. And we all may remember toward the end of the school year, you usually get a letter from the school saying your child did not qualify for extended school year services. And I remember it's always been really baffling to me. Okay, he never qualifies. Who does qualify for extended school year services?
Actually, anybody that is receiving special education services can qualify for extended school year services for the program. And, it starts at the annual IEP.
And, IEPs should be reviewed at least once a year. Schools are often trying to get us to do this at the end of the school year, just as the school year is wrapping up. I know I did one last week for my son. And whenever I do it at the end of the school year, I always say, well, we're going to have to do this when the school year begins. And I said that again this past week. But that's what parents should be doing. They should be asking for a new IEP meeting so that you can sit down with the teachers of the current school year as you go into a new school year and make plans. An IEP is, it's an individualized education program. It is a plan for your child based on your child's unique needs. And it really is at the beginning of that school year, you should have the conversation with the teachers and other support staff about what types of things we're going to be looking at that's going to go into that assessment that determines if the child qualifies for extended school year services.
Because if you noticed on your IEP, they circle different objectives to work on, to take data to see how your child will progress, and use that information to determine whether they qualify. And normally they're looking at regression and recoupment.
Or a critical point of instruction. Of all these years, those are pretty much the only two that have come up in the IEP meetings that I've attended for my own children as well as for children that we're advocates for. But there are other criteria that the school can look at. One of those is self-injurious behavior. If the school's always telling you that, he's always, hitting himself in the face, or he's always doing some type of self-injurious behavior, and they're working on those things throughout the school year to try to diminish that, chances are if you have a summer break or even a holiday break, he's going to lose ground with making progress on that particular objective to stop that self-injurious behavior. So parents really need to bring that up as another one of those options that should be looked at in terms of determining if a child qualifies for the extended school year service program.
Karran, as I am listening to you talk about self-injurious behavior, I use that particular objective when my daughter was in school. She had very big behaviors when she was in middle school. So she actually did not qualify for extended school year. And, of course, I thought that was ridiculous. And I said, well, actually, she does qualify. She qualified for many of them. But I said, well, let's just work around her behavior, because that was the thing that was the most important at that time. I had to bring in the information to the IEP meeting to say, hey, this is what we need to be looking at for Jade to have extended school year. And she got it, of course.
But you see, you bring up a very important point. You had to push that. And that's what parents have to realize. These meetings are not just to satisfy some paperwork check-off box. These meetings are very important for planning, and that means as parents, we have to do our homework on the front end so that when we go into these meetings, we know full well what our children need, and the meeting just serves as a place for us to work with the school on how to provide it.
And also, when we're looking at the main objective that they like to, the main criteria that they like to look at, which is regression and recruitment, it doesn't take into consideration what might happen during the school year. So you have to, you need to know that you can call an extended school year IEP to address the issues that's going on with your child during the school year, things that you're not looking at.
Such as if there was if your child is medically fragile, if your child has some medical situation which causes them to be out of school a lot. Excessive absences is another one of those criteria that can be used to determine if the child should get extended school year services. If you're transitioning from a school environment to an employment environment, that whole process of transition, because for some of our kids, it's very difficult for them to move from one setting to the next. So having an extended school year program that specifically meets the needs of your child would be very, very helpful.
Once again, while Jade was in middle school and transitioning to high school, she part of her extended school year program was around her transitioning to high school, because it was a big deal, and she needed to know what that was going to look like. So that was a part of extended school year.
So as we're coming closer to the end of the show, obviously we can't go as much in depth about extended school year as we would like to, but parents should contact the Louisiana Department of Education and pull up their Bulletin 1706 so that they can learn more about extended school year. And you can find that at www.louisianabelieves.org. That's spelling Louisiana completely out, and believes with an S on an N at the end, .org. And search for click on the Bessie tab at the top and select Documents, then Publications, and then Policies and Bulletins. You're looking for Louisiana Bulletin 1706 so that you can learn more about extended school year services. We have to arm ourselves with information as we go into the school year. And so, Lynn, next week we're going to be meeting with parents who may have further questions about this.
Absolutely. On Tuesday, June 4th, at the Rosa Keller Library at 4800 South Broad from 10 to 1, we're going to be doing a workshop on advocacy skills, and we could talk about advocating for your child, and this includes summer programs. And then our next radio show will be on June 11th at 2 p.m. We will discuss the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is IDEA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. Pyramid Parent Talk is a program of the Pyramid Community Parent Resource Center. You can reach us at the web at www.pyramidparentcenter.org and follow us on Twitter at PyramidCPRC.
Now, you mentioned that we're going to have this workshop next week on advocacy skills. We need parents to call in and register for that workshop. Call our Pyramid Helpline at 504-899-1505. Let us know that you're coming to the workshop, so that just in case anything changes, we would have your contact information so that we can contact you and let you know, if there has been any change in the schedule. These workshops are very informal. They're for parents. Feel free to bring your IEP or any paperwork from the school if you want, to ask our advice or opinions on it. And we absolutely look forward to working with parents so that they can be their best advocate for their kids. So we've come to the end of another Pyramid Parent Talk. This is getting to be really, really exciting. I'm really glad that we have the opportunity to provide extra support to parents in various ways. And Lynne and I have been through this for many years with our kids, but what's really important is that our parents know that they are not alone as they walk this journey of making school work for their child. We are our children's best advocate, and to do that, we have to have information, and Pyramid is all about providing information and that one-on-one support to parents. You're definitely not alone. Thank you so much for joining us on Pyramid Parent Talk.